Happy New Year, everybody! I'm not gonna drink. I will put that aside for now, but just wanted to wish you a beautiful 2017 to start off. As you can see, I've put my beautiful special dress on and jewelry for you. I'm actually not filming this in 2017, it's still 2016, but I know that this will be going live on January 2nd, so I just wanted to wish you an amazing new year. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. I put out new videos every week, all focused on your health and your happiness. Make sure that you sign up to the newsletter if you're on redfairyproject.com. There's a link below. It's the best way for me to get in touch with you, to let you know when there's a new video that's up. I know that you probably follow me on social media at Red Fairy Project, but there's just so much going on social media that the weekly newsletter is kind of my one sure way that I know that I'll be able to deliver that news to you, that little weekly dose of wellness to you. So make sure that you subscribe. So, considering that we are January 2nd, when you guys are watching this, I thought I would talk about New Year's resolutions, but not in the typical way at all. Because the typical way is usually the unsuccessful way. So I have a little tool here that actually it's a fellow blogger / vlogger that created these sheets last year. Well, in 2015, and I thought they were a really fun way. Like, I have to say that I really do enjoy kind of looking back maybe at the year that just went by, and then looking at the year ahead, seeing what I would like to do differently and why. And that is the key thing, that when we talk about resolutions, if you want to set resolutions for yourself, or more like a new lifestyle, if you will, than just like a resolution, you have to focus on why. Not just why you want to set a resolution, but why you want to set a specific resolution. Now, the reason for that is because sometimes we set a goal or a resolution for ourselves because it's what we think we should do. I should eat, I should sleep more, I should go to bed earlier, I should eat better, I should exercise more. But that word for me is the equivalent of like failure, because to think that you should do something is the most horrible reason to do something. Like, it can be valid, but it's not going to make you stick to the right actions and the right decisions to stay in check and to actually meet that goal and keep that resolution. So that is really the first thing that you want to think of when you are maybe setting some resolutions. And I know some people hate resolutions. I like them, but like resolutions my way. And Marianna Hewitt, who I will leave the link for her YouTube channel below. She's so lovely. She's actually more a fashion and lifestyle blogger, but when she did this post about New Year's resolutions, I thought it was really cool. So I'll link to that video, and I will also link to the blog post that she wrote that has, so there's 3 printouts, and the first one is New Year's resolution. So there's a column for problem, column for solution, and a column for action. And what I'll do is I'm going to just insert in this video, I'll insert kind of like a screenshot of the sheet so that you can see what it looks like. And it's really nice. It's like black and white with nice little fonts, very pretty, of course, very on brand. And then in the last column, it says date completed. So problem, solution, action, date completed. I like that. It's concrete. And I think I'm all about concrete. It's great having visions of grandeur for ourselves, but if you don't think of concretely how you can achieve that vision, you're never going to reach it. So I like this exercise sheet for that. It's kind of a concrete way of looking at maybe, I don't know, problem. Let's say you find that you're a little bit overweight, which means that you don't feel you're at your optimal health. So problem, you could say, not just like overweight or like I'm fat, like what about, okay, specifically, is it 5 pounds? Like what does your doctor told you that your healthy weight is? So problem, and then solution, well, okay, lose, let's say 5 pounds. Action, and then you go into the concrete of the everyday, I will do this. And it's not just like exercise more, it's, well, I need to exercise, I need to do 3 days of cardio and 2 days of toning, let's say, whatever it is. And then date completed, so within the next 6 months, for example. So if you go with really concrete steps like that, like I've done this actually even before discovering Marianna's sheet. I did that when I read the book The School of Greatness, which was actually also, it was last year as well. So I guess it's just like, it's a new way now of maybe looking at resolutions and goal setting, which I find is much more efficient, honestly. So I really like that, and it's been successful for me for various goals that I set myself. The other sheet that I really like, I could show here quickly, but I'll definitely put a screenshot of it as well, is this year I will do ... and then in one column it says more of this and then less of this. And I love that because often we don't realize that there's certain things that we're doing that are hurting us or that are making us unhappy. So let's say less of this could be less worrying, or less maybe eating junk food, or whatever it is that you find is not allowing you to really stand in your full potential. And more of this, it might be like, for me, it's like more fun, more social activities, because I tend to be a little bit maybe slightly obsessed with my work sometimes because I'm so passionate about it, but still, it's all about balance. So I find this sheet is a really concrete way, once again, to do kind of like checks and balances and see what we've maybe done this year that we're like, I need to do a little less of that, and not in a judgmental way, but really just yeah, this tends to stress me more, so, or this makes me less healthy or less happy, so I should do less of it. So that's a fun sheet too. And then this is more, the last sheet is end goal, and it's just a sheet that has kind of 10 points here, and I'll insert it once again in the video. And I really like this because sometimes we can have goals or resolutions, whatever you want to call them, or dreams even, and we kind of don't know how to go about reaching them. It can become just overwhelming, and then it just stays this like floating idea in our head. But if you do it this way, I like that. So let's say number 10, you put your end goal, whatever that is, career-wise, business-wise, personal life, romantic life, whatever it is, you put that at number 10, and then you put from step 9 to 1, all the different things or tasks or actions you think that you need to take to lead up to reaching that goal. So once again, I love this because it's concrete, right? It really allows you to think, okay, if this is my dream and I've been thinking about this for years and it's not happening, why? Well, am I taking the necessary steps to get to that? And maybe your end goal is something that might be 5 years from now. Like sometimes that's what's good, is that sometimes it allows a really good reality check of, okay, for me to get to this, maybe it's you know, earnings that you want to have in a year, whatever it is, you have to look concretely at, well, what is it actually realistically going to take for me to get there? And then sometimes you realize maybe you have to readjust your goals, or maybe the timeline for your goals, so that way if you don't reach them, you don't feel, you know, shitty about it. And that's another thing too, is sometimes we reach a goal and okay, so, and then what? So we have to be careful with goals to like put it in perspective. I think it's a good, I like the mindset, I like the practice of that because it allows you to live, you know, consciously and with intention, but also, you know, don't be too hard on yourself if ever you don't meet a goal. Sometimes there's a reason. Sometimes we think something will make us happy and maybe it won't, you know. There's a difference between sometimes what we think that we want and what we actually need. So also be open to what life is bringing your way and what life is trying to teach you. So those are 3 little tools. Also just coming back to my initial point of thinking about why. When you're doing this exercise, always come back to your why. Why do you want this goal so badly? And thinking of it that way, you might realize that maybe you're wanting something for the wrong reasons. Maybe in the end, if you had reached that goal, you wouldn't be happier. Sometimes we think that certain things will make us happy. Oh, once I have this, once I have the boyfriend, once I have the house, once I have the big job, or whatever, we think that we'll be happy, when we need to stop searching for happiness in the next thing and the next thing, and we really need to come back to finding happiness in the now, as cheesy as it may sound, but it's really true. So finding that balance between goal setting and looking to the future, living consciously, taking conscious decisions every day towards our goals, but then also finding a lot of joy and inner peace in what we're doing now, and not just what we're doing, but in how we are being now. That's really important as well, and maybe something to think about on a daily basis in 2017. Life isn't just about performance and doing. We can truly exhaust ourselves if we're just in that mode all the time. We need to focus also in how we are in the world, and the type of person that we are, and how we feel on a daily basis, with how we're acting with other people, but also how we're talking to ourselves. So something to ponder over the next few days, where I hope that you'll be chilling out in your jammies, maybe watching some Netflix or whatever you're into and want to enjoy at this time of year. I will be spending some quality time with my British beau who's visiting, and that is something that makes me truly happy. So I also want to thank all of you. You're such an amazing community. I love you guys so much. I love hearing from you guys. So do not hesitate to reach out to me, to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video or other videos, to subscribe, to give feedback. It's the one way that I know that it's worth for me to get dressed up like this and produce this content for you. It makes me so happy to know that I'm helping you guys, and it makes me so happy to connect with you. So I know often when we're online, sometimes we're a little more kind of in passive mode, but for those of us that are putting kind of our heart and soul in the content that we're putting out there, it's so important for us to know if you're enjoying it, what you want more of, what you like, what you dislike, whatever it is. I'm doing this for you guys, and I'm continuing now. 2017 is my 5th year, I think, with the redfairyproject.com. Vlogging is fairly new. It's not even, I think, a year old, but I'll continue if I know that you guys are enjoying it. So I love you very much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love that you give me, for just knowing that I'm putting something out on a daily basis that is of use and of inspiration to you guys. So an amazing 2017, and I will see you next week. Love you guys. Bye.